Hey guys, and welcome back to a new video. Today we are going to be trying some aquarium nails. So we're going to be using products from Sugar Acrylics. So we're going to be using Blackout, Pixie, and they're clear. And of course, if you guys are interested in any of the Sugar Acrylics products, you guys can go ahead and use my code Marjoleine15 to save you 15% off. So I am going to go ahead and swatch the colors that I will be using. And these are the colors side by side, and I didn't swatch the clear because, well, clear is clear. And so then I'm going to go ahead and use these square nail tips, and then of course I'm using my magnets to go ahead and cut them down to my desired length. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the blackout color, and I do have a small dampen dish because, as you can see at the bottom, the black is very pigmented, so it does leave a residue. So I am just going to go ahead and use this monomer for the black, and then I'm going to go ahead and empty it out. And so I am just going to go ahead and apply my acrylic, and as always I start from where the nail tip and the natural nail meet, and then I go ahead and work my way up. Again, I don't do 3 beads, I do as many beads as I need to make sure that I have opacity as well as good coverage. And I'm only using this to kind of add color. I'm not using this to build up the nail. I just want this to make sure that it's nice and pigmented, and then I'll go ahead and cap it off with some clear. And I do have my pop-off method, but when you are using colored acrylics, you want to make sure you do a thin layer of clear under the nail. Again, I didn't do that because I have my pop-off method, but I did go ahead, just letting you guys know, like, when you're using colored acrylic, make sure that you do use a thin layer of clear. That way it doesn't stain your nail. And this video is sped up because I think this video was like an hour and a half long, and I did try to shorten it as much as I could. But if you guys want to see like an application video, I do have one of those coming soon, and just kind of like a tips and tricks video of things I wish I knew when I started. But yeah, stay tuned for that. And the nail design that I'm trying to recreate, I will try to leave a picture somewhere here. I did do a set of it a while back using polygel, but I wanted to do one using acrylic, and like I said, I'll try to maybe leave a photo somewhere here. And it's like a really common photo, you can find it on Pinterest, but there's nobody to credit, so obviously I just did the design. I didn't credit anybody because it doesn't have an @ but like I said, I'll try to leave it somewhere here. And if you guys want, you can follow me on Instagram, which is Nails by Marjoleine. It is linked down below. And like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and use my brush and just apply the acrylic and make sure I build up that opacity. And then here I'm going to go ahead and do like that kind of like sideways cut. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the black acrylic, of course cleaning up my cuticles when needed. This color is very pigmented, so it will leave a mess. What I do is I just take like a cotton ball with some acetone, and then I just wipe it around my cuticles, and that pretty much just cleans up all the pigment after I'm done with the set. And so I do go ahead and apply the acrylic, and then I'm using this like cutter tool to cut it into that sideways cut that I want. I don't know what this is called. I don't know if this is like color blocking, but I just use that to cut it, and then I go ahead and apply the Pixie color, and then I go ahead and encapsulate some leaf decals. And I do go ahead and also file up that line as well, just to make sure it's nice and crisp. Y'all, and look how messy this napkin is from all the pigment. I'm just gonna keep using this, and then after I'm done I'll throw it out. But here I am just encapsulating the black with the clear acrylic. Again, I didn't use the black to build up the nail. I just kind of wanted it to kind of make sure the opacity was good, and then I used the clear to build up the rest of the nail. And if you guys are looking for a good clear, this is definitely a must-have. It's really clear. You guys will see on the ring nail, it's a pretty clear compared to others. It doesn't leave like that fogginess, and you don't have to undercoat the bottom of the nails as well. And so after I'm done capping off the black, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with that pixie color and just put a small thin line to kind of just make that like accent, because I didn't want to use gel polish. I just wanted to kind of encapsulate everything. So then once I like the way that looks, and if I need to cut it, I will. I then go ahead and wait for that to dry, and then I'll kind of just file it up to make sure the edges are nice and crisp. And then we're going to go in with some clear acrylic and just go ahead and encapsulate those leaf decals. And then I do place a thin layer, apply the leaves, and then I go ahead and cap it all off with that same clear. And so time for a little experiment. We're going to be using these 3XL full cover nail tips from Good Trades. I got this off of Amazon, and I'm going to go ahead and try to make the aquarium nail. So the idea I had was I kind of make this and then I fill it up with some, I think I used what's it called, coconut oil, but the liquid one. And then my idea was like I wanted the leaves to kind of move up and down, I think I did okay for my first time. I'm definitely gonna have to try this again. But yeah, it wasn't a fail, but it wasn't a success either. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of filing up the top of the nail around where the cuticle area is, just so it kind of like merges with the nail. I don't want it to be like this big hump. And so I'm placing it a little bit under the cuticle area, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use some clear acrylic to kind of fill up that gap. And then I'm also gonna go ahead and try to close up the sides of the nail, so when I do fill it up with the liquid coconut oil, it doesn't spill out. And so then I'm using the same leaf decals, and I'm gonna go ahead and use my tweezer and just kind of shove them in there. And y'all, I I am so mad because I was forcing them in there. I didn't realize if I just cut that nail tip, it just makes a bigger hole. And you guys will see my epic fail a little bit on. I was like, there is no way I did all that hard work. Like, you know how they say work smarter, not harder? I was definitely working harder and not smarter, but that's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the nail leaves inside the nail. Again, shoving them in for no reason, but that's okay. I learned from my mistakes. And then once I go ahead and fill this up, I also applied some glitter. I kind of feel like the glitter kind of ruined it, but it's okay. And instead of picking up pieces with the tweezer, I just put my nail like upside down and just kind of fill up the gap. And so then after that, I'm using one of these syringes, and then I'm using one of these, like, I guess syringe heads, and using the thinnest one that I can find. And then I'm gonna go ahead and fill up the nail. And so the reason I use liquid coconut oil is because when Evie, if you know, you know, long hair, pretty nails, when she does her liquid nails, she uses liquid coconut. So I just thought I'd use some of that instead of using cuticle oil, because my cuticle oil, one, is scented, and two, most of them are colored. So I just thought if I just get some liquid coconut oil, you know, I can just use that and call it a day. And I, of course, was struggling to pick it up from the syringe side. So what I did was I just put napkins on the table, and then I just go ahead and fill it up. And so then I'm gonna go ahead and, again, forcing stuff that did not have to be forced. You guys will see in a second what I'm talking about. But I go ahead and shove, like, just push out the liquid coconut into the nail. This was a struggle because this syringe was tough to kind of push down, but it's okay. We worked through it. We got it. It's okay. If you see what I mean right here. Like, it was a big gap. I did not have to force all these decals in there, but it's fine. Now we know for next time. And so then once I like how that's kind of filled up, I go ahead and use some clear acrylic after I take some alcohol to remove the oil and just kind of close up that gap. Now, here's why I say this is a fail. I don't know if it was because I did the pop-off method. I'm not sure what I did wrong. I'm gonna have to go back and watch some videos on how people do this, but most of my liquid was coming out from the cuticle area. I don't know if there was like a hole in the liquid nail, but I don't know what happened. I don't know where I went wrong, but this is why I say it's a fail. But I think next time when I do it, I don't know. I don't know why I was leaking out. Like, I put more acrylic over it just to see if it was like, did I leave a hole somewhere? But it was kind of leaking out from like the cuticle area. So I think it was because I did the pop off method. I'm not sure. And here I'm just kind of crisping up the shape before I go ahead and close it out and making sure I try and not to get dust in there. But yeah. So once all of that is done, I'm gonna go ahead and use my 80/80 grit nail file and just file the nails. And I was just making sure that it was nice and hard. You know, when you tap your nail file or something on the nail, make sure that it makes that click clack sound. So then now I'm gonna go ahead and file the nails. Like always, I do side side, the free edge, and over the nail, and just making sure that it's looking nice and crisp, that it's not looking crazy or bulky, and just fixing it up wherever I need to. And then after filing, I use my fine grit mandrel bit, and I'm just going around the cuticle area and making sure that it's nice and flush. And then after that, of course, I'm taking my buffer to remove these scratches. And I don't know if you can kind of see, there was like a little bit of oil in that small clip there. But then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and top coat all of the nails. And so we are getting towards the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know if there are any tips and tricks that you guys use when doing aqua nails. This was my first attempt. Again, I don't think it was a fail, but I feel like I did something wrong somewhere. I went wrong. So just let me know if there's any tips or tricks that you guys have when doing aqua nails. I definitely want to try this again, maybe for the winter time, like doing the same thing with like the snowflakes moving, but we will see. And then this is the finished look. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.